Hey, what's up, everybody? Definitely getting a pullback over the last couple days, like we've been talking about, right? Because we had this five-wave move, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's looking pretty good. And you can see right here we have this A, B, C pullback. So let's see if the C wave is finished. I'm not sure. It's not really a good wave here. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe we come down and get 5. So A, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A. Come up for a B, right? And then have 5 waves down in C. And then build a little bit of a base and then start to come back up and then continue the trend. That's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it, right, is you have 3 waves down, you will get 3 waves up, and then maybe another 3 waves back down, and then go, and it becomes a more complex 3 wave move, right? So you have this kind of a little bit of a 3 wave move. So we're essentially flagging out in here, and you can see um, that we are basically kind of back testing this range in here. So that's good to see, right? Let's see if we hold the range. Let me put that right there and get rid of that one. So we haven't quite made it down to the daily order blocks down here. So let's see. This would probably be the area that we're heading to, I would assume, right? So we have basically we have a inverse head and shoulders. There's your neckline. We broke out of the neckline. We have a 3 wave pullback back into the neckline. So let's back test it. All right. Let's hold it and let's continue. Again, you can have 3 up, 3 down, 3 back down, and then go maybe something a little bigger, but we'll see when the time comes. But other than that, ultimately the direction is getting back into the retrace levels. So if we have to kind of come down a little bit before going up there, well, whatever. Essentially that's the main idea there, is getting back into the retrace levels, right? Obviously, the extremely bearish idea is that this would be some kind of flat, right? 3 up, 3 down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up. And then you come down, slam down for a 5th wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't like that a lot. I mean, it's very possible. We'll just have to wait and see. Obviously, if we take out that low, it'll be very concerning. Hopefully we don't. But there you go. XRP on the other hand, you have this sort of 3 wave move, right? So it's always dangerous when you have a 3 wave move and you're right in the retrace levels, because you can always get 3 waves back down before going up. But you got to take it day by day, right? So it's just an idea, but essentially the idea here is to hold this range. If we can stay above as long as we stay above this range and build support, consolidate, we're bullish, right? Because I think this 3 wave move is finished, right? I believe it is. And we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That could be a 1, right? That could be a 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That could be another 1. That could be another 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That could be another 1. That could be another 2. And it's gearing up for that big 3rd wave. Ultra bull count right there. Other idea would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, and then you have sort of a B wave there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, C. Right? So if that's the case, then down is the direction for a little while. And then the other idea would be 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and then 5. You basically have it's a weird looking 5 wave move. That's 1. And you would have to flag out in here for quite some time and then go up for that 3rd wave. So, but let's see if we can kind of back test this little range right in here, right? Kind of the top of this, somewhere in there. Let's see if we can come down to like that let's see, what is that? 225, 230, between 220 and 235 area. We don't necessarily have to. It could be finished soon, right? I mean, we can even hold 233 here, but if we look closely, it looks like you have a flat here, an expanded flat. So A, B, and now it looks like we have 1, 2, you could say 3, 4, and 5, but I would be a little bit more conservative and say 1, 2, and then you could say 3, and then this is 4, and now we're going to get 5, and 5's coming down here, so we definitely have more downside to come. If that's the count, right? If it's, so let's see if this breaks the low. Let's see if we get divergence. But it doesn't necessarily have to. We could have like 3 up, we could get 3 down, we could build a base in here and then retrace. But I would actually prefer it to break the low and just get it over with. Let's get down in here and, because it is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So probably over the next 3 days going to be bearish, I would imagine. Let's take a look at, Theta Fuel here. You got this little 3-wave pullback here. So it probably isn't finished yet. But let's see if we get back up here. But let me take a look at Theta real quick. So yeah, we had an inverse head and shoulders. We broke out. We have this 3-wave pullback, but I'm not convinced that it's finished yet. This looks it looks like it's building a base, but when you zoom in, looks a little bearish at the moment. Let's see if that low holds, right? So maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, something like that. So you get 3 down, 3 up, and then 5 down, and then continue. So I think if the more downside we get, I think that would set us up bullishly for next week, maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of next week. But again, there's always a chance that we have to come back down and back test that 77-cent level. There's no guarantees that we got to come down there, but if you take a fib level and go up, you can see we are right in the 50% zone. So it makes sense if we would come down to the 618, maybe 83 cents. So if we tag 83 cents, that would give us a 5th wave, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It would give us a 618, and it would give us, it would appears to be a completed flat. And if we get bullish divergence, that would be a good dollar cost averaging. In my opinion, not financial advice. I could be wrong. This thing can just plummet, right? But I don't think so. I mean, there's nothing saying it's going to plummet right now. It looks still bullish. You got 5 up, you got a 1, you got a pull back, there's your 2, you got a 3, looks like you're pulling back for a 4. Let's go up and get 5. Now if it's not, then it's probably an ABC. You get 3 waves up, because all we have is 3 up. So this could come down in 3, big 3, and then go back up in 5, right? So another way is you have 3 down. Let's say it comes down a little bit more, and then you get 3 up, and then you get 3 down, or even 5, right? So it becomes a larger ABC, and then you go up, right? So that would be a very interesting idea, and that could be like a 1-2-1-2 setup, very bullish. So let's see how this weekend progresses. There's not really much else going on here H bar. I mean, a lot of them, you see all the support, you're kind of on support here. So let's see if it holds. Ethereum. Now, if you go to like the daily, you know, we basically shot straight up, right? If you take this whole wave right here, take the whole wave and you cut it in half, that's exactly where we're at. So usually when that happens, you're going to get a pause. You're going to get some kind of pullback in here to create distance, right? Because you want to get away from the scene of the crime, right? This is a big crime scene. So you want to get away from it to get to go up. So obviously, you know, we could, this might, I don't think Ethereum looks quite finished yet though on the smaller time frames. Let me see. Maybe so. Yeah. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks, and then plus you have, I'm sure you have major bearish. Yeah. Look at the bearish divergence there. So it makes sense that we would flag out in here a little bit, you know? So that's kind of what I'm thinking here. I'm trying my hardest to keep holding my SHIB long position, but it's definitely tricky because let me take a look at SHIB real quick. Yeah, so if we break below my, if we start getting close to my entry, then I have to get rid of it, right? But so far it's pretty good, right? It looks like you have a bottom here. You broke the neckline. You have this three-way pullback. Let's just let it consolidate a little bit, right? So it wouldn't be such a bad thing for this to come down and take the low and tag this level. So yeah, I sold my Monero. That was a good trade. It looks a little bearish right there. Matter of fact, I'm going to go short, I think. I'll have to see if I can get an entry here. Definitely looks bearish. Yeah, if it takes the high, then probably missed it. But if it kind of comes back a little bit, maybe I'll go short on that for a little bit. But everything else, it looks like it needs, whoops, a little bit of a correction. So, like you can see ICP here, you got 3 waves up, and then you got a little 3-wave pullback here. So if this turns into something like this, where you get 3 waves down, then maybe, right? So Filecoin, they're pretty much all the same. They all have these little 3-way pullbacks, and they're all kind of building a little base here. And some of them are on their support lines, right? So let's see, Algo, same kind of thing. So yeah, I say let's give it a little bit of time. AVAX, like if you look at AVAX, right? You got like 3 down, you got this move up. So, but we have to be cautious that this could be a B wave, right? So for example, if this is 3 down, this could potentially be 3 up like that, and it's like a flat. Maybe of course you hit the low a little bit first. You take that low out and then come up, and then it becomes 3 down, 3 up, right? And then you would get another 3 down and then go up, and it becomes a range like that, like a Wyckoff or like a reaccumulation range. So it's kind of interesting. It's not confirmed yet, obviously, but it kind of looks like a little bit of a triangle. So I would imagine that this is going to drop down, create some bullish divergence, hopefully. But you know, it could be that also. So basically, the idea here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's finished, and we're kind of building a base, and we're going to get a retrace. I don't have an answer. I'm not sure. We have to wait. We have to see how it develops. I do like. We have some major bullish divergence here on the 1 hour. Right? I think. Let me see here. Yeah, so that low and that is bullish divergence. So, and you technically do have 5 waves here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you even have a double bottom here. So, yeah, there's some part of me, you know, like AVAX in particular, looks kind of good right now. You got this little move up, and you got a little 3-way pullback here. So, you know what? It actually looks pretty good right here for maybe a little bit of a pop. Let's take a look a little bit closer. Yeah, there's nothing really there yet. We have to let it develop more to see. But if this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you get an A, B, C, and then this starts popping really quick, well, it could be that, you know, this was the 5th wave. So we shall see. So you know, we're kind of we got support. So, and we broke out, and we have a 3-wave pullback. So let's see if we can hold that and build support on it. But all in all, you probably got a little bit of downside, you know, just in general. But that would be a good thing because it would set us up potentially bullish for next week. But yeah, if the low is in, this could start moving up, right? So, you know, it's up or down, really. So it could go up, it could go down. Yeah, at this moment, and the short time frames, yes, okay. But on those larger time frames, hell no. We're going up on the larger time frames. All right, so there's no question in my mind where we're going. Obviously, there's no guarantee, and it's not financial advice, but I'm trying to focus on what's going on right in here, and it's kind of challenging when you look really, really close. So we just got to give it a little bit more time to get more of a clear picture. But for the most part, right, you developed a little bit of a structure here. You broke out of that structure. And the idea would be to come back and flag out and back test into the breakout level to flip it from resistance to flip it to support and then go up from there. I mean, that's the main idea in a nutshell with all coins. So what's going on with Bitcoin? If I have it here, everything got mixed up a little bit. You know, Bitcoin actually looks still really good. Bitcoin looks pretty good right now. It looks like you got 3 down. Looks like you're getting maybe 3 waves up. And then maybe 3 back down and then go. And like some kind of WXY or ABC. Or it could be that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this is A. This is B, this is C, and now it looks like we're gearing up for that next wave. So, but yeah, Bitcoin still looks pretty good, honestly. It looks decent right here. It looks like we're building a range. There's no... yeah, it's challenging when you're in a range. You know, you're stuck in a range. You're in the middle of the range. It's like, okay. So, essentially... Let me look a little bit closer on this part. Yeah, you got 3 there, maybe 3 there, and then pop the high. Yeah, I mean, when you look at the 5-minute chart, it's always challenging. But again, zoom out. When we zoom out, it still looks phenomenal. You could see you got a little bit of a bullish hammer candle there. I would imagine Bitcoin at some point needs to flag out, though. So if we pop the high and then start flagging, right, and then get one more push, or we can start doing that now. So we'll have to wait and see. But for the most part, you know, I would expect that resistance to break to the upside. So if you look at something like render, right, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got a double bottom. It looks like, but you have a three-way move up. So if this turns into 4 and 5, great. You get an ABC, then go. But if it's 3 up and then 3 down and then go up, you know, so that would mean we would have to flag out for a while, and that would make sense for Bitcoin to flag out as well. So there we go. That's pretty much it. Same thing with Dogecoin. You know, we're in this downtrend. We broke the neckline, or the resistance line. We broke it to the upside. So it would make sense for it to kind of flag out, consolidate a little bit, even if we have to come down and retest that neckline here and just flag out into the neckline before going up. That also would make total sense. So let's see how it plays out. And then for Theta Fuel, you know, it looks like you got a little bit of a diagonal here, but I don't like it because of that wick. The wick really screwed it up, but you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 potentially, right? So if we flag out for a little bit, go down for a little bit, and then continue, that would make a lot of sense to me. So let's see how it plays out. But anyway, not too bad. And you guys have a good weekend. And remember, not financial advice. We're just trying to figure things out, exploring ideas, and I will catch you on the next one.